feeling that well, or is it
I've been playing back-to-backs for a while now.
coming
It's
up?
the first couple in the beginning of the season because it was something that was talked about, but I've been doing it for a while now. So it's the time, playoff time. You want to be out there as much as possible.
What is the focus of this team heading in down the stretch?
To win every game and go out there and compete. We got some tough games coming up. So go out there and coaches give us a game plan. As players, we got to go out there and try to execute it. And we're in this playoff battle. With a few teams that changes every couple games. So continue to focus on that, understand where we at. In the sense of what we plan for, and try to go out there and get some wins.
You have been through this before. How delicate is that balance, trying to develop talent while also winning?
It's a tough balance, but it doesn't matter. We got to figure out a way to win games. So that's all my job is. All Jimmy's job is to try to help this team figure out a way from game to game, try to gain that confidence together as a unit, and as a new unit together, trying to do that. So we just got to figure it out.
Have you been through something this extreme before, as far as evaluating 12 players at once? I'm not saying not to put you in anybody else's shoes per se, but can you even get a rhythm with there's 24 minutes and a half and you're trying to fit every single play on the roster on the floor?
Well, not this late in the season. Normally it's a little early in the year, but you play in this league enough, you're going to experience a lot of different things. So, this will be a first, but I'm sure it'll be something different. As long as I continue to play. So, like I said, it is what it is, and the excuses really doesn't matter. So we can try to say an excuse to help us and make us feel better, but at the end of the day, it's just about wins and losses. So, we got to try to go out there and get wins no matter what.
How challenging is that for a veteran player to have, you're trying to win games, you're trying to develop chemistry, but you know that I'm not going to be there because so many guys are coming in and out. For a veteran player, what's the challenge of getting over that and just still being effective?
Just trying to, man, I'm not trying to think of it that way. You start thinking of it that way, you start giving yourself an excuse. You start saying, "Oh, poor me." You can't worry about it that way. My job is to come in here, and in the locker room when we're not on the court is to try to help lead guys and try to give guys confidence when I'm on the court. Try to bring what I can. So you can't worry about that. Like I said, at the end of the day, no matter what's happened all year with this team, some way, somehow, we're still in the playoff race. So that's the goal coming into this year. For this unit was to get back in the playoffs. So we have to understand that as a team, and try to go out there with 17 games left and try to accomplish that.
What do you see when you look at the Celtics team out there on the floor, the challenges they present to a team?
A good team, man. They, no matter if they on that night or they off that night, they're gonna be in every game for the most part. They play so hard, they play tough. They have a great system and they have great individual players, and within that system, led by one of the game's best players, Isaiah Thomas. So this is a tough team, and you always know you're in a battle for when you play these guys, and we've, the 3 times we played them, it's been that way. So I don't see it being any different this afternoon.
They're struggling to be consistent, even though you've been
They're
on some of the best teams.
consistent.
Right. I guess even when you're on some of the best teams, why is that such a challenge in this league?
It's good teams in this league. I think everybody, overlooked that. It's some good teams in this league, and everyone goes through it throughout the year. Golden State's going through it. Cleveland's been through it. The best teams go through it. But those teams obviously, have a lot of talent, been together for a little while, and they're able to win the games that a lot of new teams like us and can't win because their continuity, etc., is not there. But everyone goes through it in the league.
Dwyane, last year you pulled a whole bunch of young guys in Miami. You led them to the playoffs. They won around. You were the leader of a bunch of young up-and-coming. Has this been even more of a challenge in your leadership? Have you led more than you thought you would have to? What's this year been like?
It's different. It's not even the same, really. Besides younger guys, it's really not the same. And my position and my role here is different than it was there. So I can't really compare it.
What do you think of Isaiah Thomas and just his development throughout this season?
Well, I've always thought he was a phenomenal player, man. I just thought, when he was in Sacramento, he used to kill us every time we played him. So I always knew, that he was a good player. I think it's just about, getting that opportunity to really show, what you are, and he's gotten that here in Boston. And now, it's this confidence at an all-time high. He's at that point in his career where, he's in that prime stage in his career where guys take off, and, that's what he's doing. So, this year he's been amazing. I thought, I know they've been struggling late, but I thought at one point he should have been in the MVP conversation for sure because of where Boston was, in the East, coming on to Cleveland, their second coming, first. I felt that they got first, in the East, that he should have been definitely in the MVP conversation. So, he's having a great year.
And then just for you personally, do you still see red when you see green? It's rivalry.
Obviously the guys out of the jerseys from the rivalry that we had. I'm playing with one of them, now, so it's different. But in my first year here in this red, the times we played them, it's been tough. It's always tough, especially in this building. You always know it's going to be, no matter if you're down 20, up 20, it's going to be one of those games here. So it always is.
Dwyane, you were.
Let me see the clock before I keep talking. All right, let's go.
You were one of the first players to wear the leggings, the long leggings, and the NBA told you couldn't.
Yeah.
And then now everybody is. I
Yeah.
mean, do you kind of shake your head like, oh, see now, how do you feel about that when now everybody's wearing them, but you were the first, and everybody in the league came out and told you couldn't?
Yeah, it's okay. You all have to go through that in the league. I mean, the NBA has, they've grown as well, as players have, as trends have. So I'm just appreciative that we can do it. So sometimes when you're the first to try something, you take the hit, and then eventually it becomes okay. So it's cool.
But you were the pioneer of that.
I was one of them. I'm sure there's a few guys. I was definitely one of them that went with that look, and it was a good look for me. So
Yeah.
I liked it until they told me I couldn't do it no more. But it was a good look for me. Yeah.
It'll be important tonight.
You want to talk about your capris, what?
You go.
Exactly.
There you go.